I still remember the night the royal bell tolled 13 times. 13, not 12. That's how we knew the king was dying. I was a monk then, young and foolish, sent from the monastery to pray for the king's soul. The road to the palace was silent that night, too silent. Not a dog barked, not a leaf moved. Even the moon hid behind the clouds as if afraid to see what was about to happen. When I reached the palace gates, the guards stood stiff, pale, and trembling. They didn't stop me. One just whispered, "He's talking to someone," but there's no one in the room. I thought they were drunk. They weren't. Inside the king's chamber, I saw him sitting upright on his bed, sweating like he'd been running for miles. His crown was on the floor. His hands shook. He was speaking to the empty chair in front of him.
"Not yet," he kept saying. "I've built cities. I've fed thousands. I can buy more time."
Then he turned to me. His eyes, red, wide, wet, found mine.
"You're a man of God," he said. "Tell this visitor to leave me alone. I will give your monastery gold, land, anything. Just tell him to wait."
I looked at the chair. There was no one there, but the air was heavy, like someone was sitting there, breathing slowly. I could feel it pressing against my skin. That was when I saw the king's meal still laid out on the table. Roasted lamb, wine, bread, and a small wooden bowl. In the bowl was salt, but half of it was black. He had eaten from it. I later learned from one of the servants that a stranger had visited the kitchen before dinner. He wore black, didn't speak, and asked only for a pinch of salt. The cook said the man's hand was cold as iron, and his eyes hollow. When he dropped the salt, half turned dark in the bowl. The cook thought it was just bad light. That night, the king ate alone. As I prayed, the king started to laugh. It wasn't joy. It was the kind of laugh a man makes when he realizes the truth too late. He said, "All my life, I thought I was in control. I ruled men. I ruled lands, but I never ruled myself." Then he looked at me again and said something that has haunted me ever since. "Tell them, all of them, that death doesn't come for the poor first. It comes for the proud." His last breath was slow. Then the candle went out on its own. After his death, the black salt was buried with him. But every year on that same night, people say they hear the 13th bell again. And sometimes, the guards claim they see a man in black walking toward the castle, always carrying a small bowl. I tell you this, not to scare you, but to warn you. We all dine with death one day, but some of us invite him early, by lying, by greed, by pride, by wasting time thinking we'll change later. The king had gold, but no peace. He had power, but no control. He waited until death sat down beside him to realize his throne was built on fear. So, if you're hearing this now, ask yourself, are you living or just waiting to die rich? Because the truth is, death doesn't take money. He takes time. And once your bowl is empty, no monk, no crown, no prayer can fill it again. Live humbly, act now, and never forget, pride is the first seat at death's table. Like and subscribe Wisdom and You for insightful message of life.